Oh boy, we are live. What's going on, guys? Michael Andrew has just broken the U.S. Open record in the 100-meter breaststroke at the U.S. Olympic Trials. We're going to go ahead and watch the race in almost real time. It just happened. We're going to watch the full race. Then we're going to break it down 25 meters at a time, 50 meters. We're in a 50-meter long course pool. Let me go ahead and skip right into this section where they're racing here. The world record is set by Adam Peaty back in 2017 at a 56.88 back in 2019, actually, at the World Championships. Michael Andrew is in lane 4. This was absolutely blazing, guys. I was watching the prelims of this race, heat by heat, and he obliterated everyone. He looked so smooth. He's right there in the middle of the pool, and immediately off the pullout, he's just way ahead of everyone. So he dives in, and look at that. Right there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my box so you can see. Almost a body length lead, and we're not even 25 meters into the race. Just absolutely cooking. He's got about 10 meters into the wall, and he touches the first 50 in a 27.05. I mean, that is a flying split. The world record by Adam Peaty in the 50-meter breaststroke is a 25.9. So keep in mind, that's just a 50, but he is head and shoulders and body and feet ahead of the field. This is just absolutely amazing to watch. He's basically taking everyone to school right now. You basically have a bunch of boys swimming, and this is men separated from boys. When you're in the 58 low club, only a handful of people have ever been 58. Adam Peaty has been 56, but absolutely annihilating everyone. And he looked easy, 58.19, second 50, back in a 31 low, 31.14, I think. So, I mean, he's just obliterating the field. And tonight, heading into the finals, he is the top qualifier. So, top 16 make it into the semifinal. And in this format of the U.S. Olympic Trials and the Olympic Games, you have a prelim qualifying session. Then you have the semifinal and then the final. So tonight, they're going into the semifinal. And then tomorrow night is the final. And, I mean, just when we're going to go back and look at the race in a few different angles, but he just absolutely killed everyone. He was so much faster than everyone, it's not even going to be close. I don't see anyone coming anywhere close to him in the semifinal and the final. He just destroyed everyone. And shout out to a lot of the guys here putting down some very, very solid swims, going 59s, but it's nothing when you're going 58.1. So I'm going to go ahead, let's just watch this again, because, let's go ahead and watch it. So right here, hit the play button. He's right in the middle of the pool, and immediately off the pullout, head and shoulders above everyone. If you guys are new here to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. I'll be doing analysis on individual events and also the everything that you can to really set yourself up for success later on. So if you look at the final results of just his heat, I mean, Max McHugh going to 59.9, very fast. Going sub-minute is very fast. But, when you're getting beat by 1.7, 1.8 seconds, next level. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys how you can watch the live results. So down below in the description, the Omega live timing. And actually, I'm going to show you guys what that looks like and how you can view it. So when we're looking at the race results here, so let's look at the world record really quick. We've got Adam Peaty. He went 56.88. That was in the World Championships in 2019 in Guangzhou, South Korea. But then, American record, which Michael Andrew just broke, was a 58.6, who was in another heat, actually. I believe he was swimming next to Cody Miller, and he was minute .02. So we know Kevin Cordes, we know Cody Miller. Those guys have been 58 before. The question is, can they do that tonight in the semifinal and then also tomorrow in the final? And when we look at Michael Andrews' race results right here, he was a 58.19. His first 50 split was a 27.07. His second 50 split was a 31.14. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this, it's really important to understand how to read race results, because it'll help you out in figuring out what the heck is going on. So looking at the final results from the morning, there were 4 swimmers to go under 1 minute. We know Kevin Cordes has been 58.6. I mean, he's gone 58 several times. He did it in Budapest, Hungary in the World Championships. He's also done 58 in the United States in the qualifying meet for that World Championships back in 2017. I mean, that was 4 years ago, so these guys have got to really, maintain and step up. You know who looked really good in the morning prelims? Nick Fink and Andrew Wilson. These guys looked really, really smooth. Cody Miller also looked pretty smooth, but he's at minute .3. Do I think he can go under a minute? Absolutely. Is that going to be enough to make the Olympic team? I don't think so. I think you're going to need to go 58, and Michael Andrew looks like he could go 57, just based on how smooth he looked in that first 50. So it's going to be really exciting to see what happens in the semifinal. If I were Michael Andrew, you probably realize that you're so much ahead of the field. There's no reason to go that much faster, because all you got to do is basically he could swim the same speed and he'll still be the #1 seed heading into tomorrow's final session. So it's really going to be interesting how these guys pace themselves. The same as Andrew Wilson. He looked really smooth. I think Nick Fink actually looked even smoother. So he went 59.2. And, back half speed, these guys, if you look at Andrew Wilson, he really looked comfortable on the second 50, pushing hard, 31.0. He's got a lot of room left in the tank. If he were to go out just what he did with Michael, he would be a 58 low. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be really exciting to see how this shapes up into the semifinal tonight and then the final later on. So that's really exciting. I'm going to do a quick intermission. There's a lot going on right now. I'm getting a lot of information in the feeds. We'll go with some comments, questions, and then we'll get right into it. Here's a quick hype intro for you guys. Let's get it. All right, welcome to World Swim News. My name is Ferris Savetti, co-founder and CEO of MySwimPro, and today we're bringing you the top event summaries of the Olympic trials in Omaha, Nebraska. We just saw Michael Andrew break the U.S. Open record in the 100-meter breaststroke. He was a 58.19. I'm going to go ahead and play the race footage just one more time, and if you guys want to watch it in full speed with less commentary, you can just go ahead and rewind to the beginning of the video. But let's go ahead and play this video. I want to make sure you guys can hear me, and then picture in picture. Here we go. So Michael Andrew is in lane 4. Let's go ahead and skip to the race. Adam Peaty world record. Cool. Let's get right into the start. So Michael Andrew is right there, and he has a great pullout. Some of the other guys like Adam Peaty don't have as good of a pullout. But look at that. Immediately, he is way ahead of the field right there. And another thing that's important about the 100 breaststroke, it's a little different than the 200 breaststroke. They're two different events in the sense of your tempo, your hand speed, foot speed, all those things. You've got to be way more aggressive in the 100. It's almost an all-out sprint. I mean, these guys have to be careful on the first 25 meters to make sure they don't spin their wheels. But then you got to just go. Basically, the next 75 is an all-out sprint. The 200 has a lot more changes in tempo and distance per stroke. But even then, look at how smooth he looks out in front. Every stroke he takes, he's pulling ahead of the competition, which is great. What you want to do in the preliminary, in the qualifying, there's no reason to hit the gas too hard in the prelims. You got to swim this event 2 more times. I'm really excited to see what he's able to put together in the rest of the meet. We were talking about the 200 IM in another video with some other guys in swimming. And we know, is he going to break the world record in the 200 IM? Ryan Lochte has it at 154.00. So that's going to be really, really interesting to watch if he can put it together. So we'll see. Here's a good comment. I want to put some comments on board. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no semifinal or final guarantee. So you have to make sure that you're pacing yourself appropriately. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it into the next into the semifinal and the final. You got to make the team. You know, Matthew says he didn't go all out. You know, I hope not. I hope none of these guys in the top 8 went all out. I hope they have more gas. Some of these guys will not go faster, to be honest. Some will end up going slower, which is sort of sad to see that. You know, we want to see swimmers go really fast. We don't want to see swimmers go like their fastest in the morning prelim, and then the semifinal and final they go slower. That's no fun. We don't want that. We want, for the sake of swimming, we want swimmers to get faster. Oh, shoot. It looks like you guys couldn't hear me for a little bit. I hope you guys can hear me right now. So does Cody qualify for the 100 breaststroke? That's a good question. So he did qualify for the semifinal. Top 16 make it into the semifinal. I'll go ahead and share that in a little bit. But here's back the race footage. So, yeah, the semifinalists are top 16, and then the top 8 make the final. Let's go ahead and read some other comments here. He has to swim fast enough tonight to have a shot. I think you're referring to Cody Miller. Yeah, so Cody Miller is currently in 11th, and so he's going to have to drop some time. I think it's going to take under a minute to get into the top 8, or at least minute point 1, minute point 2 at the absolute slowest to make the top 8. So I think everyone's going to be going sub-minute. We'll see. There were only 2 guys that went under 59, and you know that's not that fast. You know, in the world standard of swimming, I think we're going to need to. Big Brian Cody wanted to go in the B final and destroy. Yeah, we'll see. Saw this on the homepage. Yeah, so, you know, here's a good overview. Maybe you can show Cody for us. You know what, guys? I'll go ahead and do that for you. Here we go. We're gonna watch some other heats, and then I'm gonna end this live stream. Let's watch a few other heats. So this was Michael Andrew breaking the U.S. Open record. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so you can see the actual results. So this is what we want to be paying attention to. This is linked in the description of the video. But Michael Andrew is the #1 seed, 58.19. If you guys didn't know, this is reaction time. So that's what this number is. So 0.65 from the moment the beep goes off until the feet leave the diving block. There's like a pressure sensor. It's by weight, and your body basically creates this like not electromagnetic, and an electrical signal. It's like touching your phone, touch screen on your phone. So when your feet leave, it knows that, and that's what the reaction time is. So if you notice, a lot of the swimmers are between 0.6 is actually pretty fast, 0.6 to 0.75. You know, there's not a lot of room to be able to improve there. Most of the room is going to happen on the first 50, I believe. Some of these guys, like Andrew Wilson, will go out faster on the first 50 in the semifinal and the final. And then even Nick Fink. Nick Fink looked smooth on that first 50. I think he was the smoothest of everyone. If you go down here, we got Cody Miller, fan favorite, going minute point 3. He's been 58. He represented USA in the 2016 Olympics, so he's definitely going to be someone to keep an eye out. Even look at Will Lacone. If you guys don't know, Will Lacone has gone 148 in the 200 breaststroke in short course yards, and he did that, I think, in 2016, if not 17, or maybe it was 15, I don't remember. But he did that a number of years ago, so he's been around. He's been fast in the 200 breaststroke as well, so keep an eye out on it for him. And I believe, actually, when he went that 200 breaststroke 148, I think he went out in like a 51. In the 100 breaststroke, he went out in a 51, which was absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, it's a little early still. We don't want to call anything yet. It's not over till it's over. But right now, Michael Andrew looking really, really good. Andrew Wilson also going to be right there with that 58 qualifying time. Nick Fink also looked very, very smooth. Then we start to see a pretty significant drop-off. I mean, there's 0.7 between third and fourth right now, so that's a lot of time drop. It is unlikely that we see some of these swimmers go a 58. I mean, it's just so much faster to go from 1 minute to 58. And I do think it will take 58 mid, if not low, to make the U.S. Olympic team. It's probably going to be one of these top 3-5 guys, but you don't want to call it too early because anything is possible. And like I said, if you guys want to look at these live results, this is Omega live timing, and you can actually see all of the different races from the preliminary session. Tonight, I will be doing a pre and post show of the events, race by race recaps. So I hope you guys can attend that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I promise you guys I'll show Cody Miller and some of the other heats from this morning in this stream. So let's go ahead and pull up some of that race footage. I got to find it, digging through everything right here. Here we go. Let's watch it. Okay, I think you guys can still hear me. This is, what heat is this? I think Cody Miller was in the next heat. I'm just going to skip through. Let's take a look. Heat 4. We're just swimming by. Look how fast everyone's going. Whee! All right. Okay, so we have Cody Miller's heat, as you guys have asked for. He's in lane 4. Kevin Cortez is in the lane next to him. Let's go ahead and skip right through. There's Cody Miller. Kevin Cortez right there. Kevin Cortez is so tall. If you guys have seen him in real life, oh my God, this guy is so tall. As a breaststroker myself, it's always great to see other breaststrokers like Kosuke Kitajima of Japan who are in the 5'10" and under category. Cody Miller is not the biggest guy in the room either, so cool to see him. So here they are. This is Kevin Cortez. This is Cody Miller right there. They were minute point. Cody Miller was minute point 3, I think. And so there's Kevin Cortez right there. And they're right there in the middle of the pack. It was really cool to see the progression, the times get a little bit faster. So the first few heats, they were like 102, 101. These guys were going minute point. But there's such a big difference between 1 minute and 58. There is really a big difference between those two times. I mean, world record split 26.6. Out here in the front. At the very end of this, watch him pull away right here. He's going to start pulling away from him, and into the finish, Kevin Cortez starts to get that little bit of an edge, and that's why I touched him out by 0.3, I believe. You can see him extending his lead, big distance per stroke. He goes minute 0.02. Cody Miller was minute 0.3. So it's going to be interesting tonight. We have a semifinal, so make sure if you guys haven't hit the notification bell, you guys are subscribed to the channel. We can give you guys pre and post show updates at the U.S. Olympic trials. To make the Olympics, Cody needs to go a 58 at least. I agree. It's going to take much faster. Here we're talking in the 200 breaststroke, 205. Whew, I don't think anyone's going to go 205. We'll see. He's big brain. He's not trying. This is the best shot in the individual race for the 200 IM. So I think for Michael Andrew, this is his best event right now. I really think this is his best event because when you think about it, he's already the #1 seed in this event. I think the 200 IM is going to be a very good event for Michael Andrew because he's already proven that he can deliver. So top 16 make the semi question. Yes, Santa 1738. That is correct. If you want to make in the shorter events, basically 200 and down, you have to swim a prelim, a semifinal, and then a final. And this is exactly how they run it at the Olympics in Tokyo. And so the idea with the U.S. trials, the way we do it, we have an 8-day competition, at least in Wave 2, and we're replicating the order of events. Excuse me. And not only the order of events, but the timing between prelims, semifinals, and finals. And that's why it's really important for these athletes to actually experience what that feels like to go from event to event to event. That's why it's really important. If you remember Michael Phelps, he did 8 events, which is ridiculous, but he had 17 swims across 8 days of competition. Now, the longer events, you don't have to do that. You only swim the event twice. So you have like the 400 IM, and you also have the 400 freestyle. These events, you don't have to swim 3 times. You only have to do them twice. So earlier in the prelim session today, we had the men's 400-meter freestyle, and that was the prelim, and then top 8 automatically go to the final tonight. We also had the women's 400 individual medley, and then we can see the final of the 400 individual medley tonight. Did Cody classify for the Olympics? So Cody Miller just qualified for the top 16 semifinal, and then tonight he's got to be top 8, or any of the swimmers have to be top 8 to make it into the final. And also, good question here. Do you think Cody Miller could get a relay? So to make a relay, the medley relay, it's the top 2 for each event. So there's going to be in the medley relay, there's backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, and then there's 2 swimmers for each of those. One swimmer will swim in the prelim, and one swimmer will swim in the final. So the top 2 make it in the individual, and also those same 2 people will swim in the relay. So there's definitely a possibility that anyone can make it in the top 16. Here's some race footage of Michael Andrew taking names in the 100 breaststroke. That's the new U.S. Open record. Really, really exciting to see some big times dropping in the prelims. I wasn't really expecting this. I didn't think I'd go on the feed here. Here's a really good question. Do you think Lochte will make the team in any event? So here's the deal. Michael Andrew is looking really hot right now, and his best event besides the 100 breast is probably the 200 IM. He's been looking really good. Ryan Lochte swims the 200 IM, and if you guys remember in 2016, Michael Phelps was swimming the 200 IM. So now Michael Phelps is no longer in the picture. This is the first Olympics without Michael Phelps since before 2000, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. So for the last 20 years, we've had Michael Phelps swimming in the Olympic trials and representing the United States of America in the Olympics. So now Michael Phelps is out of the picture. So the 200 IM, all the events that Michael Phelps swam are now open to another person because only 2 people can actually make it. So that's really, really crazy when you think about it. The fact that, wait a second, for 20 years, Michael Phelps occupied one spot in every single event that he swam. And so now when only 2 people, before the 1980s, it used to be the top 3. And so when you think about it, top 3 is really good because if you get the top 3 swimmers in the world to qualify in your country, you could sweep the medals. You could win gold, silver, and bronze. But then they changed the rule, and then it's only top 2. And so when you think about certain events that Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte swam, like the 200 IM, I mean, no one else could qualify. No one was even close to these guys. Now Michael Phelps is out of the picture. Is Michael Andrew going to replace him in some events? Is Caleb Dressel going to replace him in certain events? So this is, I think, the final heat in the last... let me turn off the comments. So this is the last heat where we had some top swimmers. There's Nick Fink and Andrew Wilson, Reese Whitley up there. But really, I think this heat, they looked really smooth. These guys were really fast. I mean, Nick Fink looked smooth as butter. There he is right there. These guys, Andrew Wilson, Nick Fink, they were both out very, very comfortable on that first 50. Now remember, Michael Andrew was out in a 27.0 on that first 50. These guys were out 27.7. So if we were to just have Michael Andrew and these swimmers in the same heat like they will tonight in the semifinal and tomorrow in the final probably, he would be destroying them at the first 50. That's where most of his advantage came. The question becomes, how hard did these guys go in the first 50 versus the second 50? Like, how much more gas is in the tank for the semifinal and the final? I wasn't even planning on going on a live stream, you guys, because I figured, nothing's going to happen. it's just the prelim qualifying. So, we'll see what happens in the semifinal and the final, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see how it plans. I would love for you guys to join me for my pre and post show of the U.S. Olympic trials, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We have a ton of people watching now from all over the world, so I can't wait to stream the next session with you guys. And there's the times, 58.8, and also 59.2. So a lot of exciting things going on, but I'll have to wait until I see you guys at the next video. And I wish you well. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys later.